Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jack.
And I'm Elena.
We're going to be talking about making 2025 your best year.
Yes, we're excited to share some helpful habits with you.
So, do you make New Year's resolutions? I always try, but,
I understand. It can be tough to stick to those resolutions.
Yeah. It feels overwhelming to try and change everything at once.
Well, I don't make resolutions. Instead, I set quarterly quests.
Quarterly quests. What are those?
Well, instead of making goals for the whole year, you focus on just the next 90 days.
So you break the year into 4 parts.
That's right. It feels much more manageable that way.
Like writing a book. You write one chapter at a time.
That's a great comparison. You don't try to write the whole book at once.
This way it's less daunting to reach your goals.
It's true. And you can
Right.
actually see your progress more clearly, too.
And if something unexpected happens, you can adjust your plan.
Absolutely. You can stay on track without feeling overwhelmed.
This makes a lot of sense.
Me too.
So to stay on track, what else can we do?
Well, I recommend a weekly review. It's a very helpful habit.
I've heard of those. How do they work?
You just spend about 20 minutes each week reviewing your progress.
So you look back at the past week?
Yes. And then you plan for the next week.
This helps you stay focused on your goals.
It does,
Yeah.
even when life gets busy.
And it ensures that you're moving towards those quarterly quests.
That's a great point. It keeps everything connected.
So let's talk about mornings. Do you have any morning routine that you follow?
I do. I find it helpful to start the day with intention.
That sounds interesting. Tell me more.
I call it the morning manifesto. It's a short journaling exercise.
A journal. What do you write about in it?
Well, I ask myself 2 simple questions. The first is, what are my top 3 priorities this week?
So you're thinking about your big goals for the week.
Yes. And the second question is, what is my adventure for today?
Adventure. That's a fun way to think about the day.
It helps me focus on something positive and exciting.
I like that. It sets a good tone for the day.
Yeah. Those questions remind me of what's truly important.
And they help you make progress on those important goals.
They do. It's a great way to start the day.
Have you ever struggled to stay focused on a task? I know I have.
Of course. It happens to everyone, especially with big tasks.
Like writing a book. It can be so easy to get distracted.
I know that feeling. I had a lot of trouble writing my own book.
What did you do to overcome that?
I started tracking my focused work time.
Tracking your time? What do you mean?
Well, I would log how many minutes I actually worked without distractions.
Did that really help you stay focused?
It really did. It made me more aware of how I was actually spending my time.
That's interesting. So just being aware of it can make a difference.
It really can. We call this technique the focus log.
So you simply write down how long you're able to focus.
That's it. It's surprisingly effective.
Maybe we can learn more about this focus log later.
Definitely. Now, let's talk about something a little lighter.
Okay, that sounds good. What do you have in mind?
Well, how do you stay connected with your friends and family?
That's a good question. It can be tough with a busy schedule.
I use standing order social events to help with that.
Standing order social events. I've never heard of that.
It just means scheduling social gatherings on a regular basis.
So you have a set time and place for the events.
Yes. Maybe it's a weekly dinner or a monthly game night.
That takes all the guesswork out of planning.
It does. And everyone knows when to expect it.
So there's no need to constantly coordinate schedules.
Exactly. It helps me stay connected with the people that I care about.
This sounds like a great way to maintain relationships.
It has been very helpful for me.
Do you have any standing order social events yourself?
I do. I have regular date nights with my wife.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Ah,
It must be nice to have that dedicated time together.
it is. We try to schedule 2 date nights every week.
Oh, that's great. It shows how much you value those dates.
They're very important to us. We rarely have to reschedule them.
That's a fantastic habit. So far, we've talked about quarterly quests, weekly reviews, morning manifestos, focus logs, and standing order social events. What's the 6th habit?
The last habit is multimodality, multitasking.
Multimodality, multitasking. That's a mouthful.
It is a long name. It just means using dead time productively.
Dead time. Like when you were waiting for something.
Yes,
Yeah.
like when you are commuting or doing chores.
You mean like doing something else during that time?
Exactly. You could listen to a podcast or an audiobook.
So you're not just sitting there doing nothing.
You can learn something new or get things done.
This doesn't mean we have to be productive all the time, though, right?
Of course not. It's just about using your time wisely when you can.
Can you give me an example of how you use this habit?
Sure. I was outlining this very podcast episode while grocery shopping.
Really? How did you manage to do that?
I used an app to record my thoughts and ideas.
That's amazing. You were multitasking effectively.
It helped me make the most of my time.
That's a great example.
Well,
So we've covered a lot of ground today. We talked about quarterly quests, weekly reviews, morning manifestos, focus logs, standing orders, social events, and multimodality multitasking.
that's a lot of information.
It is. But we don't have to do everything at once right.
You're right. Start with 1 or 2 habits that you like.
And then gradually add more as you get comfortable.
That's a good approach. Consistency is key.
So it's more important to be consistent than perfect.
That's a great point. Small steps can lead to big changes.
This has been really insightful.
Uh-huh.
I'm feeling inspired.
Me too. I hope our listeners feel inspired too.
We've covered so much in this first part.
We have, and there's more to come.
Stay tuned for the next part of our show.
We'll be back soon.
See you then.
You know, these habits are about more than just getting things done.
I agree. It's also about enjoying life.
Like those standing order social events, for example.
Yes. They are a great way to connect with people.
It's not just about being busy. It's about having fun.
It's important to relax and enjoy time with loved ones.
I think the morning manifesto is a good example, too.
You're right. That adventure question is so positive.
It really changes how you think about your day.
Instead of just tasks, you see opportunities for excitement.
Yeah, it's a simple change, but it makes a big difference.
I also want to go back to the focus log for a minute.
It's a simple tool, but very powerful.
Tracking your time makes you more aware,
It helps you make conscious choices about your focus.
and that's how you achieve your goals.
The quarterly quests give you a framework for that.
They help you plan and make steady progress.
And they're flexible so you can adapt to changes.
Life is unpredictable, so it's good to be adaptable.
These habits aren't just about productivity.
They are about creating a balanced and fulfilling life.
It's about finding time for work relationships and personal growth.
We need to prioritize the things that are important to us.
And approach each day with intention.
Even small efforts can have a big impact over time.
Consistency is the key to success.
It's not about being perfect, but about making progress.
We all face challenges, but we learn and keep going.
This is a great reminder as we start a new year.
We can make 2025 our best year yet.
These habits can help us achieve our goals and dreams.
Let's make a commitment to ourselves to try them.
And remember to enjoy the journey.
Absolutely. Have fun and celebrate your accomplishments.
I think that's a great message to leave our listeners with.
It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Likewise, we've covered so much today.
I hope our listeners feel inspired and empowered.
We've shared 6 habits to help them make positive changes.
And we've talked about the importance of balance and enjoyment.
We want to thank our listeners for joining us today.
Stay tuned for the final part of our show.
We'll be back soon with more insights and advice.
Until then, keep practicing these habits and stay positive.
We believe in you, and we know you can achieve great things.
See you next time.
We've talked about all these 6 habits, and they sound great. But it can feel like a lot to take on at once.
I understand.
What if someone feels overwhelmed? Where should they start?
Well, I would say start with 1 or 2 habits that appeal to you the most.
Which ones would you recommend?
The weekly review and the morning manifesto are good choices.
Why those 2?
Well, the weekly review helps you stay on track with your goals.
And the morning manifesto helps you start each day with purpose.
Right. Those are 2 important foundations, I think, for a productive year.
So you just focus on those 2 first.
Yes. And once they become part of your routine,
You can add another habit, like the focus log.
or standing order social events.
You build on your success and add more gradually.
Exactly. It's all about making progress step by step.
It's more important to be consistent than to do everything at once.
That's a really important point. You don't have to be perfect.
We all make mistakes and face challenges.
That's part of life.
Wow.
The key is to learn from those experiences.
And keep moving forward, even when things get tough.
That's how we grow.
Well, this has been a fantastic conversation.
I agree. It's been a pleasure.
I feel inspired and ready to make 2025 my best year yet.
I'm so glad to hear that. I hope our listeners feel the same way.
We've shared some really valuable tools and strategies.
I think these 6 habits can help anyone achieve their goals.
Remember to start small, be consistent, and enjoy the journey.
And most importantly, believe in yourself and your ability to succeed.
Thank you for joining us.
We wish you all a happy and successful new year.
See you next time.